length, breadth, height. These are the dimensions of space. But then there is depth. When we say depth perception, that is referring to this quality. It is not the quality of space, but the depth of perception. The depth of perception cannot be reduced to length, breadth, or height. When you feel the depth of emotion, that is also the same depth. So there is this dimension, let's call it depth. This is something you should pay attention to. This depth, what is it a dimension of? An emotion can be joyful or painful, but the depth is the same. In fact, until you have felt the depth of your sorrow, you have not yet fathomed the depth of love. Sometimes you may have experienced this. You may be seeing these beautiful images of space, of stars and galaxies. But in the back of your mind will be this thought, I'm not really experiencing the scale of this, the majesty of this. But then you see the same images in a cinema hall, and there is that Hans Zimmer soundtrack playing. And then you feel it. That moving, hair-raising depth. What is it a dimension of? So, there is this dimension of depth. In fact, you can pause to notice it anytime. You may even be feeling it right now as you listen to this voice. The depth is not in the voice. The voice appears in the depth. If the mind turns outwards, you can perceive it in the world. If the mind turns inward, you can perceive it in the heart. Sometimes you experience it in both directions at the same time. Like when you see the sunrise, or you are watching the ocean and the mind falls quiet. Then it hits you. The body is filled with this gushing feeling, an inkling of the infinity that holds all of this, that effortlessly contains each and every dimension of everything in any moment. This depth is not a dimension of space or of any object. Depth is a dimension of the one that is aware, that which can be called awareness, the actual self, not to be confused as being anything other than you. This depth is your depth. In the dialogues of Sri Ramana Maharshi, I came upon this term, the heart cave. You should stop and consider it. Those two words described how the sages see the world. The standpoint through which the world is swallowed whole by the realization of self. Inside a cave, you can't really tell how vast it is until you hear that distant drip of water. Then you sense the depth. These experiences are those drops. And depth is this dimension that connects the inside of what you consider your heart and the outside, which you may call the world. Just notice how this one dimension, this depth, demonstrates how all is contained within the one cave, the heart cave. And within the cave, at its core, resides what can be called I. This awareness that you undoubtedly are. Not I, but I. I. Length, breadth, height. These are the dimensions of space. But then there is depth. Depth is not a dimension of space. Look into this depth. Find out what you are.